Hi guys, I just want to give a little short recap on yesterday's game. UGA beats Florida 24-17. Man, the best game Georgia has played all year. Offensively, defensively, special teams, all three phases of the game. Georgia won. A great game plan by Coley, who had taken a lot of heat, understandably so, deservedly so. But man, he had a great game plan. You know, like I said at the beginning, whoever the last 13 times whoever ran the ball more won the game. And Georgia in the first quarter, it was not looking good. They were not running the football. They only had 70 yards on 9 carries. But they kept pounding. They kept on doing it. They knew a four-quarter game. Coley trusted Jake Fromm to continue the drives and trusted our defense to get off the field. And eventually, DeAndre Swift, those 2-yard gains in the first quarter will become 4-yard gains in the fourth. Those 4-yard gains will become 10-yard gains. And those 10-yard gains will become 20-yard gains. It was a great game plan. Great job by our offensive line. Gave Fromm a ton of space. They worked their butt offs against Zuniga and Grenard, two NFL DNs. Great defense in Florida, but Georgia just broke their backs time and again and again and again. Third down and 14s, third down and 11s, third downs and 9s, and they kept on getting it after again and again and again. It was fantastic the way they played on third downs. 12 for 18. That was the biggest storyline. Georgia went 12 for 18 on third downs, 8 for 11 in the first half, and Florida went 2 for 9. That was the biggest difference. I said no turnovers. They didn't turn over the ball. Field position was going to be huge. They won the field position battle, so they did that. Special teams, hot rod, three field goals. They're saying Cager is the MVP. Cager definitely 7 catches, 132 yards, and a touchdown. That was great, and a hats off to him. But it's not just him. That was the reason why Georgia won. He was a big part. It was also Jake Fromm throwing those throws. A huge part. Is DeAndre Swift pounding. Finally break through, did his part. It was the O-line, pass protection, and run did its part. It was the Eli Wolf to clinch the game, stab him right in the back. The backbreaker on 3rd and 7 with 2.5 minutes to lock up and seal this win. A huge game. It was the Brian Arian catch, a top 10 play where he dives over. It was the play call by Coley where it was a play action pass. You had Pickens running out to the right. You had Cager acting like he's going to block. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, cuts in and goes. And the safeties went with Pickens, and nobody was there. The guy that was on him went for Jake Fromm for a sack, and he was gone. That was an excellent play call. Nothing much you can do for Florida there. It was excellent play calling. Defense did what they needed to do to win this football game. It was just a fantastic game. When they needed to make a play, they stepped up. They didn't. They were in control of the whole game. It might not have the score, but they were in control. Not once, and I mean not once, did Florida have the ball in the second half to have a chance to tie it. That means Georgia was in control. Now, it doesn't mean that one mistake that the whole thing switches, but Georgia was in control the entire game. Since when they made it 10-0, it was Georgia's game. They played it for 4 quarters. They knew it was going to be a 4-quarter battle, so they played it for 4 quarters. It was a great game plan. It was executed perfect. I mean, not perfectly, really good. There's no such thing as perfect. I mean, they had a holding call that was big. It was a mistake. They had some offsides. But those penalties, they weren't backbreakers. They kept on plugging away. They kept on chopping wood. Keep chopping, dogs. And they got away with the win. They play like this against any other team in their A game. They can beat anyone that's on their schedule. And if they play like this, they can beat anybody in the country. Jake Fromm is a real deal. Our Lord's Cager, I call him Jake Fromm's pacifier for a reason. Anytime he's in trouble, pop, he throws it to his man, Cager, who just is always there to help out Jake Fromm. DeAndre Swift can be big. Our O-line can be big. Still, it is November 3rd, and Georgia has not given up one touchdown, one rushing touchdown. Not one time as a team ran the ball in the end zone against Georgia. That right there is the most impressive stat I have seen in college football this year. Not one. They stuffed Florida in the run game. They could not run the ball. Only 21 yards. They just kept on, and they sacked. They got all over Trask. They were this close to getting a turnover with J.R. Reed. They weren't even close at getting a turnover for Florida. Jake Fromm, A-plus game. O-line, A-plus game. Receivers, Cager had an A-plus game. Eli Wolf stepped up. I can't say anything more about it. It was a heck of a ball game. And I just want to say one last thing. Woo! Go Dogs! Number 1!